It's kind of like Skyrim in terms of structure of the game, where you're going to be who you want to be, and then there's different factions that you can join and really carve your own path, as Todd Howard says, which I feel is a given. Great job, you summed up a Bethesda game. I think Bethesda is kind of overpromising this game to people. Just starting with the obvious, the scale of the game. They're touting 1,000 planets, fully customizable bases and characters and ships and everything, and unparalleled freedom. I don't see anything that is differentiating this game from everything else that they've put out. And for some people, that might be fine. Some people just want the definitive Bethesda experience, no matter what. I mean, the first red flag here is just the scale of the game. We're dealing with 1,000 planets. There's no way every single one of those is this fully crafted experience. For a studio that is known for crafting very strong, story-driven, detailed worlds, I'm not confident that this is going to actually live up to that hype. Now we've seen this over and over again. The studio promises a very ambitious game that is going to really shake up the gaming world, and it just kind of falls flat on its face. There are exceptions such as The Witcher 3, God of War, not to say that there are all bad games these days. There's just a lot more of the bad ones than there are good. I think at the end of the day, people want a good quality game that runs and isn't a mess to play. But I feel like a lot of studios prioritize vision over the quality of the actual experience. I mean, it's easier to recall the copious amounts of wasted potential rather than the highlights in the gaming industry. So back to Starfield. If you're not familiar with Starfield, this is Bethesda's first IP in 25 years. I don't really know if they've been on the best side of things in the last 10 years. They've kind of been one of the studios at the forefront of this whole trend of games not launching in a complete state. I think we all remember Fallout 76 and what a disaster that was. Now, we've discussed the scale of the game, the amount of stuff they're giving players, and the amount of freedom that they really want you to have. I want to talk about just more the quality assurance side of things. If you look at the gameplay that we've been shown, it clearly is running at 30 FPS, something that is not going to be a surprise, but it is disappointing to see that Bethesda is still riding this wave that is the creation engine. Some cracks are definitely starting to show. So we got 30 FPS, which in the gameplay we were shown was still dipping below that. And we have a very old engine with a very massive game. This is bigger than any of the games they've ever made. I get sticking to your guns when it comes to what works for you as a studio and how you can create the experiences that you want to create, but I'm not too confident that the people that are running this whole show are the ones that are going to really have the consumer in mind. Even in his interview with Lex Friedman, Todd goes over how they will make sacrifices to different aspects of any of the games that they make if it provides more freedom for the player. I don't know if the player's going to have as much freedom with the game if it doesn't function right. Now, he's not lying through his teeth like he did with Fallout 76. He definitely seems a little bit more reserved with the promises being made with this game. They don't seem too eager to kind of share a lot about it. I think it's coming from a place of the game not being the complete experience that we're being sold. I want the game to be good. I want it to do well. I want this game that would have been on my PlayStation had they not been bought by Microsoft to do well. You know, I still know the quality of Bethesda games and I still know what they're capable of doing. It's kind of disappointing to see them kind of go down the gutter in the last decade in terms of their business practices. They also kind of are fueling this trend of launching games that are incomplete, that become better over years. The amount of times that they have released Skyrim is just a testament to the impact of that game and the quality of what they can do. At the end of the day, I just think Bethesda is kind of on thin ice in terms of audience expectations, and I wish more people would tailor their expectations a little bit. Because a lot of people, again, I feel like have their blinders on and are just looking through all the shit to see the highlights that Bethesda has given us. But based on their recent outings, I don't know if buying a Bethesda game this time around is going to be the best decision, at least at launch. But who knows, maybe we'll get a game that barely functions and is better in 4 years. That's the trend these days. That's what people want. Why would they change it? Look at Call of Duty. They resell you the same skins every year. Nobody bats an eye. I think the prominence in cosmetics in gaming has just totally skyrocketed and become something that is just not healthy to the environment itself. I think it's silly. Those are my thoughts on Starfield. I'm skeptical about it. I want it to be really good, but I have to voice my concerns here and just kind of take their track record into account and make a informed decision before you buy. I'm not even too confident it won't get delayed again. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Starfield. I'm skeptical about it. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want it to be good, but I want people to also consider all these things when they go about buying it. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.